My research is focusing on trying and understanding how private organizations can better equip workers to develop the skills that are needed to use new technologies, but also more generally be competitive, both in the labor markets and also help the competitiveness of their organizations. The difference between upskilling and reskilling is actually quite simple. Upskilling means providing workers with skills that help them improve their performance in their current occupation. Reskilling is a little bit harder in the sense that you are providing skills that help people transition from one occupation to another. So the need to equip workers with the right skills for the right moment and the right technologies is really a primary importance for organizations. Now, of course, this is especially important for workers, and it's especially important for workers that are at risk, meaning employed in occupations that are at risk of being obsolete, or in occupations that don't really match their potential. And I think reskilling is also important for society, because if we don't equip people to make these transitions and this adjustment, one risk, and it's a risk that personally worries me enormously, is that we will have parts of society that are completely unable to reach new opportunities or new capabilities that are offered by technology.
Rather than trying to find people to move to Louisville, Kentucky, I decided I'm just going to find people who like living here and to skill them up.
Interapt is a technology consulting business with a very significant focus on workforce development. And the problem that we are solving throughout the entire nation is really building a brand new pipeline of custom talent for enterprise organizations and government as well.
The original thesis for my company was that the entire country needs technology and technology skills, and as well as technology services. So I decided that my sort of unique value proposition was I was going to do IT consulting, working on mobile phones, cloud before it was called cloud, data science, what have you, in the Midwest. So think we're one of 2 or 3 companies in Louisville versus one of 1,000 in Silicon Valley. We picked up clients, Fortune 100 companies, Humana, Fifth Third Bank, GE Appliances, CVS Health. In 2015, they wanted to give us more work. I couldn't find the talent to supply those projects. So as an entrepreneur, turning away work is the worst thing that anyone can do when you're trying to grow a company. There was a tremendous amount of people in the workforce that maybe had non-traditional degrees, but they probably had aptitude for UI, UX, or data science, or programming, what have you. So I took those people, assessed them, built a curriculum around what I needed them to know, and how they could help my clients, and then deployed them on projects. So that was the original start of this whole journey of mine, was that I just was solving my own business problem, and eventually that caught fire.
The results of the Interapt model are really interesting. First of all, the people who are hired through the Interapt model earn more, but also from the perspective of the companies, they stay longer. And companies who hire these workers eventually report that they are much less likely to turn over.
More than 90% of the individuals that go through the apprenticeship pathway successfully complete it. More than 80% of those individuals land inside of an employer partner. And more than 25% of them have been promoted within their first year as a full-time employee.
We have over 86% retention after 4 years because people love the environment. They feel supported. Those that do go to other companies and other jobs do make more money, but they stay in touch and say, we miss that sort of different model that Interapt had, because it doesn't exist in most companies.
I personally believe that it's the coaching and the mentorship that is like the magic of Interapt. I think that's where the magic happens. There are plenty of organizations that are focused on upskilling and reskilling, and many of them do an exceptional job at it. But not all of those organizations take that reskilling process and marry it with that continuous coaching and mentorship in all walks of life.
And these success coaches actually take the time to talk to us. We have weekly meetings, and in those meetings, we're able to express our doubts and our fears. And that helps to keep moving forward, knowing that we have that support to lean on.
We chose to work with Interapt for their social mission combined with quality of individuals. I think this has changed the way our existing employees have thought about talent development and retention. It's shown them that diversity in thought is a very powerful tool. And our clients not only require it, they're actually asking for it more and more.
Leveraging a company like Interapt is actually quite complementary to developing an internal labor market. The main difference is that a company like Interapt might expand your labor pool and help you with the screening and the selection of candidates on attributes that you may not be able to capture. It may be too costly for you as a firm to capture. So that's the value added that a company like Interapt can offer.
I believe businesses have an obligation and a responsibility to focus on continuous growth and improvement for all of the individuals that sit inside of these communities.
Economic mobility is empowering people to know that they do belong, they can contribute, and they do have the ability to learn new skills. Then that's when they start saying, what else can I do? And I think that is one of the core things that our model has done that I didn't set out to do, was teach confidence and teach the ability to realize that, hey, I do belong.
I've grown so much as a person and as a professional. I have learned so many different things on how to communicate effectively with others, how to create learning plans to have my continuous learning and just continue upskilling to make sure that I don't stay stagnant in my career.
In order to close skill mismatches, you need a variety of stakeholders to come together. In the Interapt case, we see one specific type of intermediary that scouts and trains talent. But think about the role that colleges, community colleges, vocational schools could play in helping people develop skills that are needed in the labor market, but also helping match them with the right type of organizations. Then, of course, I think there is also a role to play for policy here. That one fundamental role that the policymaker can play here is to help identify what are the success stories? What are the training companies or the training organizations that really deliver value? What are the companies that are able to take this talent and help it flourish rather than just being transactional about it? There's so much uncertainty on what works and what doesn't work. And I believe that here is where the policymaker can really make a huge difference.
When you look at the ROI, the investment in a human being of $20,000 of upskilling comes back in 1.7 years in reduction in social services, contributions to the tax base, buying more goods from groceries to property to cars to what have you. The multiplier effect of giving someone the ability of not being under the poverty line and draining social service budgets, but instead being above it and contributing to them, that flip that you can do in such a short period of time is dramatic for communities that need these types of solutions.
If I were to advise a company of a large organization, I would say the main message is that there is value to be created for you as an organization and for society by broadening your scope, the ability to nurture talent internally, to help people acquire new skills. These are things that company can do on their own. They don't necessarily need to have these external organizations to support them. I think it really comes down to the alignment with their strategic objectives, their organizational structure, and their talent strategies.